Your thoughts on why now for all of this? Is it because of House? Is it because of the rev share? Is it because of the conference affiliation talk? All this kind of thing, or is it just how it all worked out? And I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit with that, but you're good at it. What's your thought here? Is why now?
I think all of those things. And I think it's important for people to understand that Bubba's contract, he signed his original extension in, I guess, March of 2022. And his contract ends, I believe, July of 27. So we're coming up pretty close to that end of that contract anyway. And there was a lot of conversation of, now that you've got all these changes taking place, where does North Carolina want to go next? How do they want to handle this situation? And it's I don't know if delicate's the right word. I mean, Bubba has been fantastic for North Carolina. And as I mentioned in my column, 10, 20 years ago, I mean, he is like the gold standard for what you want in an athletic director. But he just does not have the experience in the business sector of working media deals. And doing a lot of sponsorship work. I mean, yes, he's done it at North Carolina as an AD, and he did it as previous stops. But we're entering a phase where college sports is no longer an amateur model, and everything is kind of pushing towards that pro sports model. And so it only makes sense for North Carolina to make some of these moves, to be proactive, so that they can say, okay, look, we've got the right people in place who know exactly what to do, because they do it all the time. Steve Newmark was doing SEC media deals 20 years ago, and that was when the SEC popped off. He did an $11 billion deal for the NCAA 15 years ago. This is what he does. And he does it. Everybody can laugh about the sponsorships with NASCAR. Well, guess what? He's done a lot of that. And so I think just when you take a look from that perspective, with the House coming in, now that we're a couple years into NIL, the thing we really haven't talked about is the key component of that Florida State and Clemson settlement back in March with the ACC is that it allowed programs to announce their intention to leave the ACC and to only have to pay the exit fee. And it's $165 this upcoming year. It reduces by $18 million each year until you get to 2030, 31, where it levels off at $75 million. 6 months ago, we were not having that conversation. That seemed like a pipe dream. Well, now that conversation's on the table. And it's a matter of, okay, if it's $18 million a year, but the Big Ten's making $18 million more this year than we did off a media deal, what's the math there? And those are the conversations that have to take place. So I really think with all the changes that have come, it's really just kind of setting North Carolina up for the next standard. Roy Williams talked about that when he retired, how what was coming was just not for him. And not that Bubba said that, because he hasn't, but it's kind of the same idea of like Roy's time was coming to an end. And it was trying to set up the program for the next step forward. And I think that's really where we are now, as Bubba is being able to transition this off to somebody with a different skill set. And Bubba's skill set's fantastic for what it is. Steve's going to bring in just a different perspective as it pertains to revenue. And that's really what it is. And with Lee having the vast experience that he has, and now that he's been in here for a couple years, he kind of has an understanding of where things need to go. And I think now is just an ideal opportunity to take that step forward.
Absolutely. I think that's a good way to end it. Do you agree? I mean, that's where we're at. I'm going to read your last paragraph from your column, but this has been next level on the changing of guard for UNC athletics. That's Greg Barnes, of course. And here's Greg's final words on his column. Greg, if you'll let me plagiarize you. College sports have long operated as big business under the guise of amateurism. The onset of the NIL era, along with the House settlement approval, has stripped away the last remaining illusions that what once was will continue to be. It's a new day in college athletics, and UNC's athletic administration changes highlight. I would be terrible on a teleprompter. It is a new day in college athletics, and UNC's athletic administration changes highlight the university's leadership efforts to adapt to a future that is quite different from its past. That sums it up, as Greg did earlier. Like Buck Sanders would say, first train smoking. We'll see what happens as North Carolina transitions into the new era again of college athletics. There is no offseason inside Carolina, and it is never a never unchanging world in college. Greg, it's always a pleasure.